Koastal Drifter is 59 inches long, 11¼ inches wide, and has a 45.5 inch wheelbase. And I've actually already built this one with the Waterborne with TKPs, and to do that I had to carve out wheel wells, and for lack of tools and experience I kind of botched that. So I'm going to redo this, and I'm going to give that old one to one of you to have fun on it. So through December of 2024 you can enter to win this Koastal Cruiser with Waterborne surf and rail adapters and Surfskate Love wheels. Enter to win now at surfskate.love/giveaway. And this is a really great feeling setup, so whoever wins this is going to have a lot of fun on it. What makes this Koastal Drifter unique is not only how long it is, but also that it has a very wide wheelbase. Relative to some of these other longboard decks, they have narrower wheelbases for their length, but with this Koastal Drifter they really put these bolt holes on the front really out far close. You only have a couple inches out here, and then you only have, I think, about 6 to 6.5 inches back here, and like I say, you typically have longer on those. And so the wide wheelbase relative to the length makes it so it's a little bit hard to kind of move that front side to side. So I've never actually tried this, but I'm going to try an experiment here. I have a theory that the Aquilo truck is going to work very well on this one. And reason being is because it doesn't have a lot of deep rail-to-rail lean, but it has a very smooth and fluid side-to-side motion. So it's really, really easy to get going like that. So my theory is that with this length and the wide wheelbase, that this Aquilo is going to be perfect on it. I'm also going to put the rail adapter on the rear. And typically if you use the rail adapter on the rear, you would need wheel wells. But because the Aquilo doesn't have a lot of rail-to-rail lean, I don't think I'm going to have an issue with the Wheelbite, so I'm going to at least try it without doing wheel wells first. I might have to come back and do them, but if possible, I'm going to try to preserve this deck. So let's get started. My first step is to replace these Aquilo bushings with Riptide bushings, because honestly, the manufacturing on these Aquilo trucks is not great, and these bushings are not great. So we're going to replace those, and I also wanted to replace the pivot cups, but I checked and realized that I thought these would be the same size as Yao pivot cups, but they're actually a little bit smaller. So I can't replace my pivot cups here, so we'll just do the bushings. So now let's get this front Surfskate truck on. Now let's get this rail adapter on the rear, and first thing is to attach this TKP to the rail adapter. And for some reason I wasn't able to get one of these screws in. The holes aren't aligned or something, but I think we'll be all right with these three. Now time for wheels and bearings, and I'm using Surfskate Love 70mm 78A wheels with G-bomb bearings. So now let's take this out and make sure that I'm not going to get any wheel bite, because if I am, I'm going to have to do wheel wells on this, and I'm hoping I can get away with it. So let's test for that first, and then we'll take her out for a ride. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll let you know how she feels. Alright, let's check for wheel bite here. Just as I suspected, I think we're going to be fine on Wheelbite. This does have the possibility of getting Wheelbite, but the way that this Aquilo pumps, we're not going to get it. So I think we're just fine, and we're not going to need to carve out wheel wells on either front or back on this. Wheelbite. I really love this setup. My instincts were spot on about this Aquilo truck on a deck this long and with this wide of a wheelbase. The smoothness and fluidity of that on that side-to-side motion just makes it really easy to pump this, and it feels really nice. I will say that the Aquilo feels a little bit more unstable relative to some of the other ones I've had on this, and so that's a little bit harder to get used to on the cross stepping, but I like it. Like it's a new challenge for me. Of course, you did see that one issue with the Wheelbite here, but that's easily solved with the router. I can just cut out some wheel wells there, but I don't think I had any issues on the rear. You do see a little bit of a mark right there, so I could, if I wanted to get ambitious, I could cut out wheel wells there too. But at any rate, this is a great board. I really like it. It's instantly one of my top favorites, and I'll be putting a lot of miles on this thing.